Hey everyone, this is Jay Soloff from Investors Alley, and this is our options trade of the week. I am at marketchameleon.com looking at the unusual options volume page. So what I like to do is come here and sort this by volume to see what some of the bigger names have done. And you can see almost 2 million options trading in NEO, quite a hot stock right now. 4.6 times the regular volume, 75% calls to 25% puts, so generally considered bullish action. Zoom, another one that's been in the news. Now FSLY, this one is the one I wanted to look at. Interesting that the stock is way down. It's down about 27% today. This has been a high flyer. It's a cloud internet type stock. Web cloud, that sort of thing, front end type stock that's been high flying, but down quite a bit. They pre-announced lower guidance, and earnings don't come out till the 28th, but they pre-announced that they're going to miss guidance. And they're only going to miss guidance by $3 or $4 million. However, this stock was supposed to be this huge growth stock, so the fact that they're not growing as much as expected obviously took a big toll, and a big chunk out of the stock. So it's interesting to see what option traders might do, and you can see the call puts are pretty mixed here, almost 50-50. So maybe some people looking at this as a buying opportunity, others maybe considering it's going to continue going down, trading almost 6 times the normal volume of options. So what we can do then is go and look at the trades that actually happened today. And there's some big orders, not huge, doesn't look like a ton of institutional sort of action. Most of the, there are, some of these are multiple $100,000 notional trades, some over $1 million. But actually this first one is a December trade, and looks to me and that someone is selling puts. And given the open interest, this seems to be an opening trade. So if someone is selling puts at the 80 strike with the stock at 88, that's actually a neutral / bullish trade. Perhaps they feel that the stock maybe should have gone down, but this is about as far as it needs to go. And they have something like an $8 to $10 cushion before. Well, actually, if you include the price of how much they sold, they actually have like a $16, $17 cushion before they lose money on this trade before December. Could suggest that there's a floor. Could suggest the stocks can go back up, but they are collecting $4.6 million in premium on this. So quite a big bet. This one here, even though traded at the ask, is probably also added some, maybe as much as 6,000 of these traded for almost $9. So just $5 million potentially being collected, suggesting this isn't going to go down. So this, maybe it's not an opportunity to jump in and buy calls, but could be an interesting opportunity to sell puts or sell put spreads. Maybe it's a potential entry point. Maybe this trader or fund is happy to own the shares at 80, and so they're willing to sell puts there. So it could be some different things, but generally a neutral or bullish trade. So if we want to look at that a little bit more closely here, you can see here's the action. Obviously the stock had been quite hot, jumping from 80 to almost 140 in a short period of time, but then in just one day, and actually from the peak down quite a bit. But if you just take the day before and the day of the drop down to about 90 all the way up from the 130, so huge drop. A drop like this tends to cause volatility to go up, so that could be a reason why someone wanted to sell puts. So if we look at that, we can come down here and you can see it's about 64 days before the December options expire. So let's look here and we'll switch this. Let's look at the volume here. Let's find that 80 put. And yeah, you can see almost close to 8,000 shares traded today. Obviously way higher than the open interest, so this is opening trades. Looks like a lot of it, most of it was sold just at 880, some at 890 probably. It's already quite a bit lower the midpoint. So an interesting way to do this, and of course you could sell puts, but that requires a fair amount. You have to have the cash in order to buy the shares at 90, 100 shares per option. So fair amount of cash required. You could also sell maybe a put spread, where you sell the 80, maybe buy the 70. That will looks about 3.6. You take in about 360. You wouldn't quite have the amount of risk, and you wouldn't have to put up as much money. So that would be another interesting way to play it. But just an interesting trade. Now, this is just a theoretical trade, something I found interesting. If you're looking to get started and maybe actually buy calls and puts, I have a service for that. It's called Option 4 Trader Pro. There's a link on this page. So that's a decent way to get started with lower risk because you're only buying and selling. And you can check it out if you are interested.